It is pumpkin season and we're getting ready to make pumpkin pie. We are absolutely 100% not using this pumpkin, okay? Rarely do people actually use a pumpkin. Now, some do, but this pumpkin, it's full of seeds and membranes. It would take a long time to get it out. Then you got to cook it down and everything. When what you can use is 100% pumpkin. Okay, not pumpkin mix, but pumpkin. But first, we need to get our pie crust rolled out and prepared so that it can go back into the refrigerator. Okay, my pie crusts have been in the refrigerator pretty much overnight. And if you want the actual pie crust recipe, you want to go to my website, pamspreps.com, and you will find the pie crust full recipe, instructions, and everything there. I am just going to roll it out because when I actually made the pie crust recipe before, that's on my website, I didn't roll the dough out. I was just showing you all the recipe to make it. A lot of people wanted me to roll the dough out. So I thought, well, when I do the pies, I would roll the dough out at that time. So here we are, just putting a little bit of flour on your surface. If you don't have one of these baking mats, these things are amazing. They're non-stick, they're oven proof, so you can put them in the oven. If you're baking cookies, you can bake them on here and you can slide this right into the oven. So I love it. It helps a lot when it comes to pie crust and things like that. Now you see me rubbing a little flour on the backside as well as putting it on here because actually when I made the disc is not flat. And so therefore, I wanted to just put a little extra flour on there. Not much. This is not much at all. This is probably a teaspoon between what's on my mat and what's on the actual pie crust disc. Okay. So when you're rolling out your pie crust, the biggest thing is, and it'll be a little hard at first because it's really cold. Okay. It's been in the refrigerator. You want to roll it out just a little bit at a time and pick it up and make a quarter turn. Just turn it a little bit, okay? That keeps it from sticking and it also helps you get it as even as possible. It's really hard, even for myself, to roll out a pie crust that's even. I'm not a pastry chef. I'm not a baker. You know, I'm a home cook. But you want to keep turning it and take your time. There's no rush. Yeah, you want to make sure the pie stays cold, but this is why we roll our pie crust out first before you even begin to make your filling, because that way you can put it in your pie plate and then put it back in the refrigerator because you want this pie crust to be cold when you're going into the oven. Okay, whether you're blind baking it or filling it and putting it in there, whatever you're doing, you want it to be cold. Keep turning it just a quarter of a turn each, okay? And as you can see, it's splitting here and there. Don't worry about that. That's your edges. You should have more than enough. But if you're really concerned, you can pinch it together like that. It will go together, just like that. You can pinch it back together, okay? You know, some things bother some people more than others. My pie crust cracks on me all the time, and I don't mind. Take a little flour, add it on there, and roll it together. Okay? Keep turning it, even though it's getting larger. Make sure you keep turning. Now, when I'm making my pie crust, I like to roll mine out just a tad bit larger than that last circle, okay? That's just me. That's kind of me making sure I have enough for my edges. Like I said, I'm not a pastry chef or a baker, but we do the best we can. And that's what I've just found works best for me. I am pinching in my edges. That's going to make it a little bit easier when I get ready to fold them under to actually crimp it, okay? If you are still wondering, okay, is that going to be big enough? You can always take your pie plate and turn it upside down and hold it like that. And you'll see you got a good inch all the way around. Then you know you're good, okay? So now we're going to put this in our pie pan. I fold it over that way, gently so you won't tear it, and fold it over that way. Doesn't have to be perfect. Take this center and put it as much as you can in the center of your pie pan, okay? Then just unfold. If you work gently, you should be okay. Now, before you crimp it in, make sure you kind of press it down into your pie plate, just like that. Okay. All right. Now you see I got a little crack in the center there, so I'm just pushing it together just to make sure it's good. But don't push it too much because you don't want to create a hole somewhere else. All right. Now, I typically don't cut off or tear off my edges. It's not perfectly even, but it'll do over here. I'm going to pinch this together so that when I get ready to turn it, put it under, it'll work. You can fold it over or under. I've seen people do both. Under is the most popular way, and that's the way I'm going to do mine. First, you go around and you just tuck it under. I am literally just tucking this under, just like that, taking it and pinching it under. Okay. And I am making enough pie filling. I'm actually making 2 pies. So after I get this one done, I will roll out the other one, and then we will get our filling made. I just want to do one to show you all how to roll the dough out. Okay, so now you can leave it like this if you want. You see, it's under. I tucked it all under. See how that is? All the way around. I tucked it under. Okay, so now I like to go in and I take a finger. You can do this. I've seen people do this multiple ways. You can take a fork and crimp it at this time if you want. I take these 2 fingers and this finger and I bend them like that. This one's just bent in like that. And these are like my pinchers. So I'm going to push this in and pinch. And I'm going to go that all the way around the entire pie crust and do that. Okay. All right, and this is the way your pie crust will look once you have crimped it. Okay, so I'm going to put this one back in the refrigerator, roll out my next one, and I'll be back. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add our eggs. People always ask me, why do you crack your eggs into something separate first. And that is because if I have a bad egg, it won't be in my batter. Okay? Okay, now you can use beaters, you can use a stand mixer, anything that you want. I am using the whisk component of my mixer that I feel works best for this recipe. So that's what we're using. You just want to mix your eggs or beat your eggs until they become nice and frothy. Now you want to add your sugar, your spices. Now you can use pumpkin pie spice if you like, but pumpkin pie spice contains cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and allspice. Okay. I am not using pumpkin pie spice. I'm using my own spices, and this is ginger. This is cinnamon. And this is cloves. I do not use nutmeg, okay? I don't like nutmeg. I don't use nutmeg. I don't like the smell of it or the taste of it. So we don't use it. We use cloves instead, which gives your pie an amazing flavor and a little salt, okay? Now we're going to combine this. Next, we have evaporated milk and heavy cream. You want to pour both of them in, one at a time, of course, but both of them in while you're actually mixing. Pour them in slowly, okay? Now, as I mentioned, you want to make sure you have 100% pure pumpkin, okay? There is nothing in here. Where are the ingredients? Here it is. There is nothing in here but pumpkin, okay? Just pumpkin. So they've done the work for you, all right? So you're not adding any other ingredients. It's important not to get pumpkin pie mix. You need 100% pumpkin, okay? So go ahead now. We're going to add our pumpkin in. And again, I am making 2 pies. So the recipe is for 2 pies, all right? When you go to the website, pamspreps.com for the recipe, and you want just maybe 1 pie, just cut everything in half. All the ingredients, except for the eggs. I use 3 eggs when I'm making 2 pies. I used 2 eggs when I am making 1 pie. And I will make a note of that on the actual recipe as far as the eggs are concerned. Make sure your oven is preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. Now we're going to blend this on medium until it's just nice and smooth. Okay, we are all mixing. This is a very liquidy type of pie filling. So I'm going to grab the pie crust and I'll be right back. Okay. We're going to pour this in our shells. We're going to bake it at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. Then we're going to go in and reduce the heat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for an additional 45 minutes. All right. Make it as even as you can when you fill your shells so your pies will kind of match. Okay, this is what it should look like going into the oven, and you may not can see it right now on camera, but there's a little bit of a white line right on top. You just want to go in and smooth that in. That's just from where you poured it so that that won't actually show. All right, set your timer for 15 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, these smell so amazingly delicious. And I'm not a fan of whipped cream, but I will take some ice cream. Oh my goodness. Ooh, doesn't this look amazing? Oh my goodness. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Ooh. Okay, before we do our taste test, if you were new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Take a second and subscribe to the channel. Oh, turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for keep coming back and hanging out with me in my kitchen. And channel members, thank you so much for your loyal, faithful support. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do our taste test. Oh my goodness. That has some ice cream, some of the crust, and the full recipe is on my website, pamspreps.com, along with the pie crust, how to make the pie crust. Oh my goodness. This is delicious. You can taste the cinnamon and the ginger, the nice warming spices, as well as the pumpkin. Remember, you need 100% pumpkin. That's all you need. No other ingredients should be in there. And a lot of people are always asking me, how do I keep my cakes? How do I keep my pies? I typically use these. This is just a pie container. They have them larger for cakes as well. Just as simple, put it in here, put the top on it. It keeps it airtight. You have a handle on here where you can carry it. Easy on and easy off, okay? So that's how I store mine, all right? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna finish this up with a cup of coffee, and I will see you next time. The good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.